Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the algorithms that basically run our lives online.
You know that feeling, right? You open up an app and it's like it's reading your mind. It serves up the funniest video when you're feeling down, or a recipe for something you were just thinking about. It's a little creepy, but how does it actually do that?
Well, if you really want to understand your feed, you've got to understand the recipe it's following. And yes, I am being literal here. A recipe is the perfect way to think about it.
At its core, an algorithm is just a set of instructions. You know, like a recipe for a cake. You follow the steps, you get a cake. For an app like TikTok, the algorithm is the recipe. And that perfectly curated feed you can't stop scrolling through, well, that's the cake.
So what is this recipe trying to cook up exactly? It's simple, really. It's cooking for your attention. The more time you spend scrolling and watching and liking, the more ads they can show you, which means, you guessed it, the more money they make. The goal is to keep you glued to the screen for as long as possible.
And what are the ingredients for this highly addictive recipe? It's your data. Every single video you pause on, every like, every comment, every follow, even the time of day you're most active. All these little data points are the ingredients that get mixed together to build a shockingly accurate profile of who you are and what you want to see next.
Okay, so that totally explains how your feed gets so good once it gets to know you, but what about when you first sign up?
It's that classic chicken and egg problem, isn't it? The algorithm needs your data to show you stuff, but you need to see stuff to generate any data in the first place. So how do they solve it? They have a really clever trick up their sleeve called collaborative filtering. Let's say the very first thing you do is like a video about the new iPhone. Instantly, the algorithm says, aha, and finds a whole group, a cluster, of other users who are also into tech videos. And then it just starts showing you the videos that that group already loved, making a pretty safe bet that you're going to like them too. It's a brilliant shortcut to figuring you out fast.
So we get the technical recipe now. We see how it works. But what about the side effects? What happens when that recipe starts shaping not just what we see, but maybe even how we feel?
And this is where the whole conversation gets a lot more, well, complicated. We're not just talking about code and data anymore. Now we're talking about the real-world psychological impact this is having on a whole generation.
And believe me, researchers are paying very close attention. This recent study from the International Journal of Advanced Multidisciplinary Research and Studies did a super deep dive into the long-term effects on young people, specifically those between the ages of 13 and 21.
And this wasn't just some quick online poll. Their method was really solid. They combined the hard numbers from surveys with in-depth personal interviews to get a much richer, more complete picture of what's going on.
So what did they find? First off, a slight majority, about 52.5% of young users, reported that they experience anxiety that they link directly to using these platforms. Now, yeah, it's pretty close to a 50-50 split, but that's still more than half of users who are feeling a real strain.
And it's also really clear that which apps you use makes a big difference. Just look at this jump. Users who are mainly on YouTube reported moderate stress levels, but for users on a mix of platforms like Twitter, Medium, and TikTok, their reported stress levels shot up into the very high category. That is a huge, huge difference.
And behind those numbers, of course, are real people. This quote from one of the participants really gets to the heart of the matter. Social media often makes me doubt myself, especially when I see someone I love posting about a celebrity who looks incredibly attractive, someone I feel I can't compete with. The algorithm isn't just showing you content, it's actively feeding a painful cycle of social comparison.
So are these algorithms just plain bad for us? Well, like most powerful things in life, it's not quite that simple. It's really more of a double-edged sword.
On one hand, yeah, these algorithms are amazing at helping small, niche creators find their audience. They can be fantastic for learning and for connecting with people all over the world. But on the other hand, they can trap us in echo chambers, they can fuel that social comparison we just saw, and they can make lies and misinformation spread like wildfire. Ultimately, this technology is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. The algorithm is just a recipe, one that's designed to serve you more and more of what it thinks you want. So the real question, well, it shifts back to us. Knowing how the kitchen works, what will you choose to put on your plate?